When you picture Las Vegas, you picture life. You picture the sound of slot machines ringing, the roar of a crowd at a craps table, the sheer, undeniable energy of thousands of people packed onto the strip, shoulder to shoulder. What do you not picture? Emptiness. What if a city built on spectacle? Built a $3.7 billion spectacle, and nobody came. This is the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, a towering monument of blue glass piercing the desert sky, meant to be the new pinnacle of luxury. Yet today, just months after its grand opening, visitors are describing it with words like cold, soulless, and a 5-star ghost town. This isn't just a slow start. This isn't just opening night jitters. This is the story of a $3.7 billion catastrophe. We are witnessing a financial meltdown so severe that reports indicate the property is hemorrhaging as much as $400,000 every single day. This isn't just one empty hotel. This is the ugly truth about the entire Las Vegas scam. It's a story of corporate greed, staggering incompetence, and arrogance so profound, it built a palace in the desert and forgot to invite the people. The Fontainebleau isn't just a failure, it's ground zero for the death of the old Vegas dream. So stay with me, because in this documentary, we are breaking down the 7 key reasons for this colossal failure. We'll go from the casino floor to the executive offices to uncover exactly how this happened. And you will want to stick around, because when we get to key point 5, I will reveal the details of the internal scandals now rotting this resort from the inside. We're talking about a federal investigation into money laundering and a high-stakes lawsuit from a powerful rival that corporate executives do not want you to know about. Reason 1, the $24 insult. How 6 chips exposed the elite-only scam. So where did this all go wrong? The answer, bizarrely, starts with an appetizer. A few weeks after opening, a photo went viral. It was a plate of nachos from the Fontainebleau, but it wasn't a mountain of cheesy, gooey goodness. It was 6 single tortilla chips, each with a tiny dab of topping. The price? $24. This wasn't just an overpriced snack. It was an insult. This was the first shot fired in Fontainebleau's war on the middle class. This was a message sent loud and clear from the executive suites that this $3.7 billion resort was not built for you. This is the elite-only strategy, and it is the core of their failure. The leadership believed they could curate their guests, that they could cleanse the property of the average tourist, the very people who built Las Vegas. They designed a place where a bottle of water cost $15 and a simple snack cost $24, effectively hanging a sign on the front door that says, "If you have to ask, you can't afford it." They forgot the most important rule of Las Vegas. Vegas is a volume business. It thrives on the masses. By declaring war on the average visitor, they alienated 99% of the market. And the 1% they did want, they were already happy across the street at the Wynn. Reason 2, the 5-star ghost town. The price of corporate arrogance. So what is the direct result of this elite-only strategy? You get a 5-star ghost town. The videos don't lie. Visitor footage shows vast, empty casino floors in the middle of a Friday night. You can hear the echo of your own footsteps walking through cavernous hallways. It's not just quiet, it's dead. This is the price of corporate arrogance. The executives, in their detached boardrooms, genuinely believed that if they built a 3.7B monument, the right people would magically abandon the Wynn, the Bellagio, and the Venetian and flock to their new, isolated tower. But they forgot that the soul of Vegas isn't quiet luxury. The soul of Vegas is the buzz. It's the sound of 1,000 people having a good time. They built a beautiful prison, and nobody wants to be there. This emptiness is amplified by the design itself. Visitors describe the architecture as cold, sterile, and soulless. It lacks the warmth of the Bellagio or the fantasy of Caesars. It feels, as many have said, like a dead shopping mall or a high-end hospital lobby. They spent billions to create a space that is aesthetically impressive but emotionally bankrupt. They insulted the masses, and the masses, in return, simply let it die. Reason 3, the cursed location. $3.7 billion built in a desert. But the corporate incompetence goes far beyond 6 tortilla chips. Their greed was matched only by their staggering lack of basic common sense. They built their resort in a desert. I don't just mean the Mojave, I mean a pedestrian desert. The Fontainebleau is located on the North Strip, a desolate, isolated stretch of Las Vegas Boulevard. This location has been cursed for decades. This is where dreams go to die. It's the same black hole that swallowed the Stardust, the Riviera, and the unfinished Echelon project. There's nothing around it. It's an island. To get there from the main, central strip, where the Bellagio, Caesars, and Venetian are, you have to walk past the barren, undeveloped land across from the Wynn, past the mediocre resorts world, and keep walking into the void. It's a 20-minute, windswept walk with nothing to see. This isn't a secret. Foot traffic data shows this end of the strip gets over 40% less foot traffic than the central area. This is corporate hubris at its peak. They spent $3.7 billion on an isolated island, completely disconnected from the lifeblood of the city, and genuinely believed that people would make a special pilgrimage just to see it. They ignored decades of history, and now they are paying the price. Reason 4. The $400,000 a day meltdown. The human cost of greed. So, you have an empty, soulless resort, built in the wrong part of town, that has insulted its target audience. What does that look like on a balance sheet? It looks like a catastrophic meltdown. Leaked internal reports paint a horrifying picture. The Fontainebleau is reportedly losing $400,000 every single day. Let me repeat that. This isn't a slow start. This is a financial hemorrhage. This is a 3.7B ship sinking at a rate of almost $3 million a week. But this isn't just about billionaire investors losing money. This corporate greed has a very real, very painful human cost. Just weeks after their grand opening, after promising thousands of jobs, the Fontainebleau abruptly fired 60 of its table game dealers. These were people who left secure jobs at other casinos, excited to be part of the next big thing. They were brought in, used for the opening flash, and then discarded the moment the spreadsheets looked bad. Think about the message that sends to the rest of the staff. The morale inside that building is reportedly through the floor. Employees describe a culture of panic, confusion, and fear. This isn't just a failure, it's a betrayal. This is the human cost of a business strategy built on nothing but arrogance and greed. Reason 5. The scandal. Scam. Rotting from the inside. At the beginning of this documentary, I promised I would show you the ugly secret the executives were hiding behind the blue-tinted glass. This is it. When a $3.7 billion corporation is this desperate, bleeding $400,000 every day, what happens? They don't just fail gracefully. They cheat. The Fontainebleau isn't just failing, it's rotting from the inside. First, let's talk about the federal government. The resort is reportedly under federal investigation. The alleged crime? Serious violations of anti-money laundering laws. Reports claim the casino was granting massive lines of credit to high rollers without performing the legally required background checks or due diligence. This isn't a paperwork error. This is the kind of reckless, desperate gamble a casino makes when it needs to get any money in the door, fast, regardless of where that money came from. But the internal rot doesn't stop there. They are also being sued by one of the most powerful and ruthless players on the Strip, their direct competitor, Wynn Resorts. Wynn filed a lawsuit accusing Fontainebleau of a calculated and illegal campaign to poach their executives and employees. But this wasn't just about hiring. The lawsuit alleges that Fontainebleau encouraged these poached employees to steal vital trade secrets, confidential client lists, marketing strategies, and operational data. This isn't just business competition. This is corporate espionage. This reveals the true character of the operation. When a company built on pure arrogance, like we saw with the nachos and the location, is facing a financial meltdown, its only remaining strategy is desperation. They couldn't win fairly, so they allegedly tried to steal. Reason 6. The copycat casino. No soul, no charm, no draw. So we have a scandalous, financially bleeding resort built in a desert that hates the middle class. But even if you ignore all of that, why would you go there? What is the draw? The Bellagio has the fountains, the Venetian has the canals, Paris has the Eiffel Tower. Even the new sphere is, well, it's a giant, mesmerizing sphere. The Fontainebleau has nothing. It has no identity. It is a copycat casino. It is a hollow, $3.7 billion shell designed by a committee of consultants who just stole ideas from other, better resorts. They have an ice skating rink. That's a direct copy of the one the Cosmopolitan has had for years. The rest of the resort, it's just expensive. It's a generic, cold, blue-tinted clone of its sister property in Miami. It has no soul, no charm, and no Vegas magic. It feels like a high-end airport terminal, or, as we said, a dead mall. They spent billions of dollars and decades of planning, and the best they could come up with was a bland imitation. They forgot the #1 rule of Las Vegas. You have to give people a reason to walk through the door. You have to give them a spectacle. Fontainebleau didn't build a spectacle. They built a very, very expensive box. Reason 7. The final verdict. Fontainebleau is the entire Vegas scam. So in the end, the Fontainebleau's failure isn't just because it's an empty, cold, copycat casino. It's not just because it's in a cursed location. And it's not just because it's rotting from the inside with scandals. The ugly truth is that the Fontainebleau failed because it is the modern Las Vegas scam, all concentrated under one roof. That $24 nacho plate wasn't an isolated mistake. It was the entire business model. It's the exact same corporate logic that gives you a $50 a day resort fee for Wi-Fi you already paid for. It's the same logic that slowly changed blackjack payouts from 3 to 2 to 6 to 5, quietly stealing from your pocket. It's the same endless, bottomless corporate greed that has systematically replaced magic with spreadsheets. The Fontainebleau isn't an exception to the rule. It is the horrifying $3.7 billion proof of that rule. It is the physical manifestation of corporate arrogance. In its empty, silent hallways are the ugly truth that every other casino CEO on this strip is terrified you will finally see. So, we've seen it all. The $24 insult designed to filter out the middle class. The 5-star ghost town that resulted. The $3.7 billion gamble on a cursed location. The $400,000 a day financial meltdown and the human cost that came with it. The desperate internal scandals and federal investigations. And finally, the copycat design with no soul and no magic. The Fontainebleau isn't just a failure, it is a $3.7 billion warning. It is a warning to the entire Las Vegas industry that when you replace hospitality with arrogance and magic with pure corporate greed, this empty, silent, cold-to-the-touch failure is what you get. But what do you think? Have you been to Las Vegas recently and felt this change? Have you experienced the ridiculous fees, the worse odds, and the cold feeling that you're no longer welcome unless you're a high roller? Let me know your story in the comments section below. And if you want to see more deep dives that expose the ugly truth, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.